Hey, my wonderful divine masculine Sagittarius placements. Christina here, Ginger Mama, with my kitty cat, Shira. She's just chilling. I'm coming at you with your extended monthly Tarotscope for the month of October. All right, let's dive into it. Lots going on this month. You might be feeling overwhelmed. Like, I feel like many of you, divine masculine energy, which, by the way, if you're unclear which one you are, my website, gingermama.com, has free blogs about wounded and healed masculine and feminine energy. We all hold both. Maybe watch both videos for Sagittarius and see which one you're resonating with more, okay? But I feel like you have all these possible options. And it could be like in love or dating, but this feels more like within your soul. Like, you could be unlocking your chakras a little bit and you're still like, I don't know what's the chakra stuff. But you're starting to realize, like, wow, my physical body is kind of operating differently. Your appearance might be changing a little bit. This is part of the ascension journey. You could be having third eye activation, more dreams recently, nightmares, trouble sleeping, trouble eating. This is all related to your chakra system. So maybe tap in with that, do a little bit of research on your chakra systems. Understand that masculine energy, especially, before you move up into the upper chakras, before you're able to unblock your throat chakra, really channel with your crown and third eye, it is always best to clear the lower chakras first. Or you could experience massive waves of imbalance, all right? You can open the upper ones first, but then you're gonna feel really ungrounded. So if you're feeling ungrounded right now, ask yourself, okay, have I cleared sexual energy on my own, away from other people? Can I just pull back, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and just focus on my own pleasure and clearing out any sexual energy within our sacral chakra? Also focusing on the idea of safety, right? What makes you feel safe in a connection? And then asking yourself, what would make another feel safe within a connection? What is the level of honesty, vulnerability, commitment that would make that happen for you? And what might have happened in your past, in your childhood or previous connections, that is making it difficult for you? Just that's what's coming out first. Before I dive into the astrology, I don't want to forget, when I was channeling for you, the feminine one was more like putt-putt, but I felt like with you, divine masculine, it was like someone on a beautiful golf course, but it was almost this feeling like there was a golf cart there and their friends, and they were just kind of like, I don't think I want to take the golf cart. I think I just want to walk. And they were like carrying their bag, like looking around, like, okay, like they felt like they were a little hot, but it was like this feeling of like, okay, I'm going to do the work now. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that the work is one step at a time, and it's not as, it can be enjoyable, right? Like, it's going to be hard, but it's also enjoyable. And it's like jumping down from that fear, right? Of like, I'm just going to do it. As we have the 9 of Wands reversed, I'm going to take a risk, because I feel like many of you are afraid to take a risk. Whatever it might be in your career, your spiritual journey, love, it just feels a little stalled out, where you're like, no, I know it all. I know it all. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But there's a piece of you that's definitely not good. And you're not wanting to look at it. And the universe is like, you're going to look. You're going to look. You're going to address this. And you're going to feel it heavy this month, okay? October 2nd, beginning of the month, we have Mercury stationing direct in Virgo. Ding! That is your cue. We're out of retrograde. We're out of retrograde. So there's no more excuses of like, well, I can't reach out to them because if I reached out to that person, then they would suddenly think it was because of retrograde. All the stories you tell yourself. Also, look back over retrograde, where their exes, where their relationship issues that came back up, for review. What did you learn? What do you want to gain and learn from that period of time? The 3rd through the 8th, we have Pluto direct in Capricorn, which is, like I said, it's bringing up your deepest buried self. It's literally like, you're like, I don't want it. I don't want it. And the universe is like, we're just pulling it up. So you're going to be asked to look around your friendship circles, your family circle, your coworkers, and really be like, is this what I want? Is this who I want to be? Is there a way I can be something else? Look at this, Ace of Pentacles. Absolutely there is. Those of you who know how I read tarot, I always take the Ace of Pentacles as like source confirming, God confirming in my deck. This is the yellow brick road to New Earth. That's the road you're on. That's the golf course you're walking. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this with God. It's like following the sun, that energy of like running towards the sun. And yes, this is a pentacle. There is wealth and financial abundance for you as well. And maybe this month you'll see more of that as you're stepping forward in your alignment with source, okay? Money is energy, just like time, just like sexual energy, all of it. And many of you are in or have been in toxic love cycles. And you maybe don't want to see this or acknowledge this, but it's true. And we have to ask ourselves, how did we contribute to that? Were our boundaries lacking? Were we obsessed with sex? Were we not protecting our sexual energy? Was it just this like player energy that we just couldn't stop? And ask yourself why. Get emotional, like with yourself. Like ask yourself, why is it that I'm not giving emotional offers to people or expecting that in return when it comes to intimate partnerships? That's a really big, that's a question only you can answer. But I always tell people, how's it working for you? When we have sex with someone else, we are picking up energetic fragments of every single person they had sex with, or their trauma, pain, or abuse. And it will sit within your energetic body if you do not clear it. And you don't have to believe me, but again, many people will start to experience things like erectile dysfunction or difficulty orgasming, things like that. That can happen at any age. And normally that's a sign that you've thrown around your sexual energy way too much. You've not protected it. You've not protected it. Because trust me, if it's protected, oh, these chakras, the things you can do with that energy, it's unreal. And so tap into that. Also, many of you, the star reversed, you might be hung up on body image issues when it comes to sex, or when it comes to just, it's like you tell yourself you're not, but then somewhere in there, it's like the idea of being naked is cool, but the idea of being naked and being emotionally naked with someone is too much for you. You're like, I could do one, but I don't know about both. And so tap in with that, because you really are going to be feeling calmer and, less freaked out, Sagittarius, as you sit with that with yourself. It's like even right now, like I'm like, oh, I have a couple, zits. Like people get zits sometimes. I don't have a filter on YouTube, it's cool. It's like sitting in the mirror and saying, okay, I have this scar or this birthmark or these insecurities, right? And being like, it's okay. If someone really loves me, they love all parts of me. Do I judge others based only on their appearance? And if so, is that being mirrored back to me? How can I stop doing that? How can I take an action forward? Also, the star reversed really makes me think of that energy with that Ace of Pentacles of like, you are meant to shine bright. You are meant to be here for a specific reason. Why? Because you're a spiritual freaking leader. You know this, especially if you have a divine counterpart. You're being called to speak the truth. This card, Knight of Swords, is all about a knight, good knight, like the fighter. And they literally take the sword of truth of God. And I know it's intense. You're like, wait, what? What did I sign up for? You signed up for that. And so you've got to get clear. What is commitment? What is a spiritual journey? What do I want with this other person? And how do I speak that truth? How do I get out of these other toxic cycles? Because it's hurting you energetically, and it's hurting them if you know you're tied to someone. And this Ace of Cups, this feeling of like, you don't want the romance. You don't want that. You feel so drained and depleted by this connection. And again, it's like, is it that you don't want it, or you don't want to put the work in to make it happen? And understand that it's not like these feminines are like, I need a big trip and all this romantic 3D shit. No, they just want genuine truth, vulnerable emotions. I mean, this can be home on the couch, my right ear ringing. Like, it's like, oh, we're watching a movie and some strawberries or whatever. But like, hey, I'm telling you the truth of how I feel. So really tap into that. Walk that through in your mind. What would that look like? Me telling someone how I felt. Take sex out of the equation for a minute. Really focus on the emotional intimacy there, and try to go down that road. See how you feel, okay? That's going to help you unlock, again, your chakra systems. On the 9th, by the way, the energy here is going to be a big deal for masculine and feminine energies. We hit the full moon in Aries. If you are someone that has been more selfish, if you've, you ghost people, you step in and out when you want, you don't get very emotionally invested, this is gonna rock your world, because it's gonna show you have been way too much I am, and this full moon is in Libra season, which is about balance and connections and relationships. And on the opposite end, if someone's been way too overgiving, which if that's you, you're anxiously attached, you should be watching the feminine reading, okay? It doesn't matter your skin suit or your body, we all hold both. Then people like that are going to continue to pull away from you. They're going to say, I don't want to engage with you. And you're going to say, why does nobody want me right now? Well, because they're viewing your energy as selfish, to be frank. And so they're choosing themselves because they're like, I've overgiven and this person never gives back. And so that's up to you to sit with. But if this full moon is really rocking you, it's a sign you need to take an action, to speak a truth. Many of you may be feeling a lot of nostalgia. Look at this. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Nostalgia about a past connection, wanting to rebirth it, that Scorpio energy, which by the way, we hit on the 23rd, but you're feeling guilt. You're feeling shame. It's like you don't want to admit it, but you know what you did. You left this person out in the cold. You energetically manipulated them in some way, whether you meant to or not. And now you're intimidated because you're like, they seem to be doing well without me. They seem to be grounded in their coin. And it's almost like you don't believe it. How could they have done this without me? And it's like, yeah, they're that amazing. They're your person. But again, what are you going to do about it? You know, and like, how can you do it in a way that's really healthy and mature and not manipulative? Because this is the energy you're going to be in, especially with that full moon. Nightmares, up at night, anxiety, depression, just total like, what do I do? And that's because you keep overthinking it instead of going with the flow with source, tapping in with signs and synchronicities, repeating numbers, pulling back into meditation, getting off the internet. By the way, if you are stalking them, you better stop. You better stop. If you can't stop stalking someone, that is proof that you have some type of feeling towards them and you need to take an action towards them. Okay, the 14th through the 22nd. By the way, if you're looking for a good weekend to reach out, the 14th through the 22nd, both those weekends, we have Venus in Libra, trine Saturn in Aquarius, and we have Mercury in Libra. It's going to be a really great time to have balanced conversations. It's going to be a beautiful time that if you're walking into it saying, I'm going to equally give, and I'm also going to listen, and I'm not going to run from this, I'm going to go slow and steady, that balance. That's going to be great. Do the release of any fear around that, around the full moon, and then plan there. You know, as long as you're speaking truth and your truth is aligning with your actions. So if you reach out to someone, I really miss you, I care about you, I'm sorry, you know, I want to reconnect, then you better be following through with actually seeing them in person, right? And being clear about the connection and how you want to move this forward and asking them what their boundaries are. How do they want to move this forward? This is a joint partnership, that Libra energy. So again, like I said, Scorpio season hits on the 23rd. Scorpio season is going to be intense for a lot of the collective. We have our Pluto return going on. This is all about death and rebirth, transformation. Look at this, King of Wands. You guys, you are going to feel like creative, powerful. Like if you can take this step to speak this, I feel like you're going to have this burst of like, I didn't even know I could feel this way. There's multiple awakenings, you know, on these wands, but it's like you're going to feel different in your sexual energy, you're just zest for life. I mean, it feels really good if you can do this, but you've got to get over that fear of like, well, what if it doesn't work? What if they don't want to talk to me? Oh my goodness, the past, whatever. If you know you're divinely guided to speak a truth to someone, just do it. Family, friend, lover, whatever it might be, do it, okay? As long as it's in genuine, authentic truth, you're going to be good. And as long as you're combining that with actions. So the 25th, we have the new moon in Scorpio and a solar eclipse, okay? And again, solar eclipses, it's like, for those that don't know, are all about rebirth. And this is happening in Scorpio season. Again, all about rebirth. Who do you want to be? And many people will say, I can't change that much that fast. Yeah, you can. Who I was 1 year ago, totally different than now. Everyone will tell you that. Who I was 2 months ago is different than right now. Who I will be on November 1st will be different than where I am now. And the universe is asking you to rebirth that, okay? Also, I really feel like by the end of the month, if you did the work to reach out and communicate, by the end of the month, my third eye keeps pulsating like crazy. You're gonna have some massive third eye activation going on, okay? Tap in with that. Anything you see that's dark or scary, you can push that back. Do not be afraid. You need to push that away. You're clearing out these past energies, okay? And anything that's beautiful, like enjoy it. Figure out what source is trying to guide you to or show you. They're trying to show you the gravity of these connections, all right? If anyone wants help with that, I am happy to do personal readings with you, gingermama.com. There are various options for what we can discuss on those calls. But yeah, it's like this feeling like you're just stubborn. You're just like, I don't want to take a risk. And that's fine. You don't have to. You have free will. But the more you wait to take a risk when it comes to your spiritual awakening journey in all ways, the more imbalanced you will feel. This full moon will rock you, and that new moon will hit even harder. And you're going to freak out in a way. Like, why won't this stop? It's never going to stop until you bring justice to situations that you know were imbalanced in your life. And you do your best, your absolute best to do whatever source is guiding you to do. Also, tap in with your dreams right now. If you want more clarity in your dreams, drink water before bed. A calcium magnesium supplement is great too. And again, your dreams cannot hurt you. Confront your fears in your dreams. Those of you seeing counterparts in your dreams, speak with them in your dream. Many of the divine feminines, we get your text messages in a dream, or we get you just standing there watching us, and it's creepy, okay? So make the choice, set the intention. No, tonight or in meditation, I want to connect in with this person and get over some of these fears so that it's easier for me to do in 3D. All right, I love all of you. Have a great day, a great evening whenever you're seeing this. And also, I really encourage you to also watch your moon and rising, or maybe your counterpart's sun sign, whatever you feel called to. Venus placements are also highly significant. If you don't know those, download the CoStar app. It's free, and it will help you better understand your astrology and what's occurring right now, okay? There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, but you're going to get there. I'll see you next time.